This whole walk by faith and not by sight thing, it's kind of difficult, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and I feel like every believer since Jesus went back to heaven would probably agree with us on that.
Well, and don't get me wrong. I understand the value of faith, why God typically doesn't show up and explain everything point blank, all this stuff. But without having someone to look at and a voice to hear and respond from, it can kind of make having a relationship with him complicated.
Yeah, I totally get that. It's like when I'm talking with my wife, right? I can look at her body language. I can listen to her tone and get an idea of what she's thinking or how she's feeling. And then, of course, literally hearing what she has to say in response really helps clear things up.
But with God, we don't get those kinds of cues. And so if you're anything like me, maybe that turns into your prayers sounding a bit more like letters you're submitting to God than conversations with him.
Yeah, especially when he doesn't respond right away.
Yeah, I'll start just kind of repeating the same request over and over to God. And that's not to say that you just have to have this dynamic, diverse conversation with him when you pray. But I know for me that repetition is a reflection of the fact that I don't really believe he's hearing me.
But God does hear what you're saying. He doesn't have to lean in or turn down the volume of something somewhere else. He's tuned into you.
Psalm chapter 66, verses 19 and 20 says, "But truly God has listened. He has attended to the voice of my prayer. Blessed be God, because he has not rejected my prayer or removed his steadfast love from me."
David was wondering if God had heard his prayers too, but he kept talking to God and was reminded of the same thing that's true for me and you today.
God has listened. He has heard every single prayer you've prayed, the eloquent ones, the passive ones, the desperate ones.
And with that in mind, we can change the way we talk to him. We can pray like we know he's listening, because he is intently.